Welcome, everyone. This is Glenda Dawson, and you're watching channeling sessions that members and myself have with Council of Nine, Council of Light Beings. We do this every week, and there are messages for the collective, and there are also coordinates to help us remember the knowledge that we've had all along. And it's to enlighten us, to make us be aware of what we already know, to ground us, to ascend us, to help us ascend, and to learn how to let go. Now, some of these coordinates, some of you may not even know how to do that, but it's okay. You set the intentions to travel with us, and you will be having your own experiences according to what you need. Not everybody sees exactly the same thing, because each one of us needs something different. We are doing this not just for our own spiritual path, but also for anyone who wants to join us and travel with us and obtain that knowledge. Or as I say, we remember what we already know, especially in this lifetime. We came here to do a lot more than what we thought or what we have been made aware of. Welcome to the member who's here today. And as always, I want to open the floor. For those that are doing this, I want you to make sure that you are in a place where you don't get disturbed. Give yourself this time and just relax and, hopefully the experience will help you be in a better spiritual place and more elevated place and better ascension place, because we're all ascending. As a collective, we are ascending, and we individually is our own choice. With that being said, welcome, Jess. And do you have coordinates, or should we go where they're giving me?
Go where they're giving you. As you were speaking, first I got a black hole, and then I got an image of the Blessed Mother and Mother Mary.
Mm-hmm.
And she was bending down and over, I'm assuming a crib, but it may not be. And that's what I've gotten at this point.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, the black hole is what's pulling me. It's like we're meant to go in there, but it's not an actual black hole as we know it, because we really don't know what black holes are about, but it is pulling me in there I think it's a portal to go through to the other side. Now, the coordinate I am getting is 34781. 34781. At this moment, I have also someone, an entity that's called Ra. I also see the Blessed Mother. I also see not just the one child in, we'll say, a crib, for lack of wording. To me, it's more like bassinets. But either way, I see three children, three babies. Now I no clue what that means. But the number 3 is very important to divinity, to the divine. So maybe that is why. So as I am going through this hole, I'm also seeing a being completely in white hair, white outfit, which is not like pants and stuff. It appears as a masculine, but it has one of those just like a gown type of thing. I can't recall the name of what that particular gown is called.
Toka?
Like priests wear sometimes. Or
Chasuble?
probably,
Toga?
yeah, it's like the cardinal garment that it just looks like.
Chasuble.
Okay. So that's what I'm experiencing at this moment. And as I am traveling through this dark tunnel, black hole, as I'm in it, I could see perfectly well. Like I could see other entities. I could see stars and other planets, and I could see also, for lack of wording, entities of all kinds and races. It isn't just like the Council of Nine. I see their representatives, but I'm also seeing other things. I'm seeing galactics. I am seeing beings that their energy represents beings, say, for example, divine beings like archangels and such. And it's like as I'm being pulled through there, I feel like they're sending some type of energy to either cleanse or bless or combo. I kind of feel like I'm being scanned. Like, you go through a scanner and it just, but the scanner is actually moving the paper. So I'm being moved through that hole. And on the other side is very bright. I see a lot of bright stars. I see a lot of brightness. But it's not like per se a sun that's causing this brightness. It just is. Like everything is very clear, very bright. You could see everything. You could see everyone. And it's like a Grand Central Station for those that have ever been to New York. One big open floor, with a lot of doors, a lot of ways to go, tunnels, a lot of ways to go all over the place, and a whole bunch of different entities walking all around, or some floating. But like it's a central hub.
A distribution center of sorts.
Okay, it's a good way of putting it. It's very hard because as they're explaining it to me, I'm like, what? So I was looking for the translation into our limited vocabulary.
Yeah. I was just trying to find something besides Grand Central Station had people not been there.
Right, right. No, good.
No, I think it's very much like a distribution center, depending upon where you need to go, things are sorted appropriately, based on your needs, based on your calling, based on your mission. And there's kind of a loading going on, and people being sent in specific directions as best I can.
I know it's hard to explain. So
And yet
everyone,
you're good, and yet people are going willingly. It's not like
right,
nobody's forcing you to go anywhere.
right. It isn't like you're abducted and you're forced to go, enslaved or anything. Everybody's willing to go wherever they are called to go to. And it's usually by priority of your needs. So
It's the tunnel acted as a pre-sort, if you will. And that enabled the beings at the other end to know where you needed to be directed, in at least initially, and further sorting happens beyond that.
right. Hence the scanning field. Now there is violins playing, and it's a beautiful but at the same time eerie sound. And it's just it's raising the vibrations at the same time. Like for me, I feel it like in my heart, and I feel the vibrations just my heart chakra just bouncing. Which I could imagine that that melody or sound or those sounds are hitting each and every person or every being differently. Because I see not just humans, but I see from all dimensions that I have known about, and all I've seen beings from different planets and different backgrounds. And as a matter of fact, I've even seen a couple of animals that are here on Earth, that exist on Earth. I've seen fairies. I've seen a couple of ascended masters. I've seen Mary Magdalene, or representation of her energy. I have felt her energy. I want to clarify, when I say see, I don't always see. I feel, I know, just third eye may be seeing one thing, but recognizing that it is what it is.
It's interesting because there's healing center aspect to this as well, and also imparting wisdom. I don't know that we've ever encountered anything quite like this particular place, if we want to call it a place, before.
No, I don't think so. It's like everyone is receiving what healing they need, what particular healing they need,
Mhm.
but you're also getting clarity with wisdom to help you continue on your path, to help you see beyond what you're seeing right now. And yes, I will call it a place. I don't know what else to call it. I could say the Matrix, I could say dimension, but calling it a place will resonate with each and every one that is listening, including ourselves, make it a little easier to understand.
And in front of me, there's a Zen garden appearing.
mm,
Like after you receive and experience what you need to, there's a place you can go to allow the energies to settle.
mm. Yes, I'm entering a garden. I don't think it's the same when you're entering though, or you're in front of.
I think the gardens are specific to the individual.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a place within this this bigger space, that allows your energies to quiet, to gain concentration
Mm-hmm.
for the next step of your particular journey and mission. It's interesting that there's so many different types of beings, and there's no competition. It's just everybody recognizes that we all have unique needs, and yet there is something greater than ourselves that is ministering to each of us, with one common thread of love and wisdom.
Mm-hmm. La Yukaya Maya. La Yukaha Maya. Mihi Yuli. Mihi Lui. La Yukala Maya. Beauty and health are your greatest assets. Your passion, your love is there for the taking. That love that is with each and every human and non-human. Just go, receive it, and be open for it. You will get the blessings that you so deserve for all the hard work you have done up to now. Surrender to that beautiful love that's all around you. Feel it, acknowledge it, especially at this moment. Humans need to recognize the extreme need to be one, to be united, to be as a collective, as the collective that you are. We, as we stand here with you, are doing the best that we can from this side to get you to understand you're not alone. You are not separate. This is why, from time to time, great humans have been born. You may know them as Jesus. You may know them as Buddhas. You may know them from people who have greater knowledge but have gotten ridiculed, have been laughed at, have been killed. All because human beings do not understand. They have been blinded. They have been shackled. They have been hidden from what is real, from what is true, from what is. Each and every one of those beautiful teachers, masters that have taken upon themselves to try to teach humans, to try to bring that wisdom, made the sacrifice of going through lots of pain, unheard of pain, for the greater good of everyone. And right now is the opportunity you can take without that major sacrifice, by just uniting, by just being who you really are, which is a true loving being. To win over all those that have closed minds, closed hearts, and maybe by your example, showing them the way so they can too be who they're meant to be. I am sorry I interrupted, but I felt humans needed to hear this message at this moment. Those that are using this medium, please remember, we are all behind you. We are all here to help you. If you're in need, no matter what the need is, just ask. You guys call it prayer. Some of you call it meditation. Just internalize it and talk to yourself as you call it. Think of it. Let it be known. Verbalize it in one way or another, whether it's through your mouth, through your heart, through your brain, through your energy. We will take whatever hint you give us. We can accept acceptance and surrender by you in whatever way you feel comfortable with. We will then be able to help you, and we will bring you the peace that you need so you can do truly and be the higher self, the higher being that you are. And I will now step back. But before that, I send much love. Yamaili Mayala. Yumaya Kalayai. Yiha Mayalihi Maya Mayaliwa. Okay.
I had all kinds of visions while you were speaking. I've seen mer people. I've seen dolphins and whales and sea life. I've seen the four seasons. If there's a circle in front of us, the circle is quartered, and each season is represented certainly. But it's interesting because there's like it goes like a quarter turn, and everything shifts in that quarter turn. And you have the next season, you have the next whole and fauna that it changes with with seasons. And you're allowed during your time in that quadrant to grow, to maturate, to shed, to go through all cycles of nature. But it's interesting because it's just every so often the quarter turn. And I see a mountain like Mount Etna, a huge, voluminous mountain and range covered with snow. But all of the different seasons are represented as you go down the slope. So everything is represented there. This is fascinating. Also felt a great deal of peace as this person spoke. Could have listened to her voice for a long time.
I'll have to listen later. When they pulled me, and I basically went into La La Land. So it's okay. Now, what I'm hearing when you were describing the mountain and the seasons and all that, there's a time, a place, and a season for everything. And within each season, there is healing if you accept it, and if you go and you are willing to accept the healing. People right now, we're going, or at least where I am, we're going into colder weather. Leaves are coming down, leaves are changing. Trees are going to be in a place where they're going to look like they're dead. But they within themselves, even in that time period, are healing. They're accepting nourishment from the earth. They're grounding, they're conserving their strength. They're rejuvenating. So when spring comes, when it's that season, they could blossom and grow even further than they were the seasons before. And that is what I am getting. It's like, even though there is a season where it's harsh, there is healing and learning and evolving available. The opportunities are there. So that doesn't mean that you're going to have a certain season, a certain time period where everything goes well, everything goes perfect. Yes, you could have those seasons, those time periods. But there's also the season when things are not going as you had planned or you wish them to go. And there is something that greater working through that moment, that if you're willing to accept, you will get a lot more out of it than just I'm going through a rough time. It is a lesson for all of us that even if we go through trials and tribulations, as people put it, that we can come out victorious and in a better place at the end, even if things are not the way we thought they should be or we had planned them to be. And just know that if you let them drive and you let them be there with you, you'll be ahead of the game. We just have to be willing to be part of that collective and join in that loving moment, that love that connects all of us. As you well know, Jazz, I call that connection USB connection. I plugged into you and we feel that connection. And in each and every one of us plugs in. You know, I could plug into Leaf. You could plug into Leaf. And we have that connection between all of us, between the three of us. And we just got to be willing to do it. And that is when we create that positive energy to do much more healing than we can ever expect, and much more growth than we could even imagine. It's basically, they're saying it's up to us. Now my garden is all roses, by the way, just for the record.
Duh. I'm hearing wind chimes and jingle bells.
At the same time?
Yeah. I think there is so much trial and tribulation that goes on in everyday life that we forget to recognize the joy that those trials and tribulations will bring. Sometimes it's hard to figure that out or see it. But when you have joy in your heart, everything is brighter, everything is manageable. And we forget to be joyful. And I think if there's two terms that go hand in hand, it's joyfulness and gratitude. If you've got one, you've got the other. And if you can't figure out how to get to joyful, you work on figuring out what you have to be grateful for in every moment of every day. Even if you have to keep a journal for a minute and you write down everything that you're grateful for, and then the next minute and the next minute, until you find yourself being lifted up, recognizing that joy is resounding within you. So it's important to find that time in your day to be grateful. For me, I know if I start my day that way, my day usually goes pretty well, generally speaking. It's easier to stay centered when you start with gratitude and joy.
It's definitely one of the keys.
It almost seems like if you start there, other gifts and other needs unfold naturally. The love comes in, your ability to recognize the creator and all becomes much sharper and easier to recognize. It's just a beautiful time to take those deep breaths
Mhm.
and remember who you are. But I'm sensing that as lovely experience as this is, that we might be getting close to the time that we need to think
They're
about
actually,
leaving.
yeah, I think they're kind of pushing us back out.
All right.
I'm starting to see everything like further away. I'm like, okay, I hear you. Oh, wait. So for me, they're sending a little tornado that actually illuminates like if it was a rainbow. And
Ooh.
that, yeah, I know. I'm getting rental transportation. It's picking me up and putting me outside of the black hole.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Over the rainbow. Oh God. So let's just start going down to our 0 into center. Start from 5, 4. Take a nice deep breath and release. 3, 2, 1, and then just take a nice deep breath again, nice and slow. And when you release, just feel that peacefulness come showering through. I'd like to thank everyone who was here today, human and non-humans. Um, that was a beautiful trip. My garden, especially. I'm sorry, Jazz and all that, but and of everybody else. But I love the roses, so it was all roses for me. But I want to thank everyone for being here, and please join us every single week, every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and share it out so others can also experience this and others can also benefit from it. This is healing within channeling. This is healing for all of us. You never know when that healing will occur. You never know what you're going to need and what peace this is going to bring. Namaste. Have a great week. Thank you, Jazz.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. And we love you all. Peace.